Hello.
You all right, Dooley?
Guess who's back?
Back again?
Shady's back.
No.
Tell a friend.
Fuck off.
You bleep yourself this time.
That's my first swear.
I know. So what we doing?
We are on House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3.
Yes.
Mate, it was, do you know what? First impressions, good episode.
Yeah.
Not as much kind of in your face happened compared to the first two.
Yeah.
It felt to me very much like a more of a establishing episode.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Stuff's going to kick off next episode.
I mean, I said to you before this season started, like, it's all going to go off. It's all action. And to an extent, it is. People still have to get places.
Yeah.
And this was one of my biggest criticisms of the latest Game of Thrones episodes. All of a sudden, they all had fast travel points in the back garden. They could all teleport across Westeros.
Yeah.
A journey that it took them 2 seasons to do. Like an episode, if that, Daenerys going from Dragonstone all the way up to the wall, then past the wall, even though dragons can't pass the wall.
Yeah.
Like, and a
30
bird,
seconds?
but a bird getting that way and him running, and it's just mental. It ruined the immersion for me. The world building
Worst one was when they were beyond the wall. I forgot his name. Robert Baratheon's bastard. Fella from Skins.
Was he in Skins? Never watched
He
it.
was in Skins. I forgot his name though. The blacksmith lad.
Oh, I forgot all the characters' names of Game of Thrones. That's awful.
It's because it went bad. But anyway,
Yeah.
they were beyond the wall and they'd hiked for a long time.
Oh, days.
And then he just started running and was there.
And I'm dead. Because I'm dead.
How
Because I
slow
have
were
got
they walking?
ultimate plot armor.
How slow were they walking?
Oh, pin steps.
Anyway, House
It's a
of Dragon,
variety test.
Season
Yes.
2, Episode 3. Where do we start, Dooley?
We start with the Blackwoods versus the Bracken.
Oh, that
Seen
opening
this before?
scene was dark.
It was. We've seen them before.
Have we?
Yeah, so
Which
when
ones?
Rhaenyra is doing the great tour to find a suitor,
Yeah.
and the young lad's like, I will protect you, and that guy just basically mocks the life out of him.
Yeah, 'cause
And
it's a
he ends
kid.
up, and he ends up, the kid kills him. That's
Yeah.
Blackwoods and Brackens are already at war. They've hated each other for hundreds of years. Literally is another video on the Blackwoods versus the Brackens.
Okay. Are they in the same... Well, I know they're next to each other, but are they in the same region?
Yeah, they're both in the Riverlands. They both report to the Tullys.
So why hasn't the Tullys got them under control?
Because, as it explains later on in the episode, I forget his name at this point, the Lord of the Tullys is a frail old person that can't even get out of bed at this point.
Has he not got any heirs?
They're just not doing anything about it. It's
No
just
one
one
of
of those
use.
accepted,
Like St. Helens and Wigan.
like Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly. Except in that one, there was a definite winner.
I don't get
Say
that
yes.
reference. Yes.
Say yes. Yeah, it's the best. Something I did note on this is the Bracken boy was killed with his own sword.
He was.
And I thought that was proper imagery. The whole thing was like a teeny tiny Storm in a teacup version of the Dance of Dragons, because these two families genuinely, they've been fighting for that long. Nobody knows why. The
Yeah.
new Lord of Harrenhal says it, doesn't he? Like, sin begets sin begets sin.
Yeah, they
Like,
just hate each
nobody
other
knows
for
why
no
it
reason.
starts. They're literally fighting over a boundary stone being moved and cows eating grass. Like, behave.
Yeah, so
Um,
what I want to ask about that, it starts with 2 groups of lads arguing literally over a boundary stone. Is that what kicks off that war?
It's what kicks off that massive battle. Yeah, they will take any opportunity to just smash into each other and try and kill each other.
That was a lot of death.
But one of them is declared for the bracket for Aegon.
Yep.
The Brackens have declared for Aegon, and the Blackwoods have declared for Rhaenyra. So when you see the Bracken kid turns around and walks away, he says something like "babe killer" or "baby killer."
What did you say?
Otto's plans worked. So this is part of the Dance of the Dragons. It's one of the powder keg moments.
It's that deceit that's been sown in the little districts and individuals around
and it matters.
the world.
Like, public opinion matters.
The
Like,
world.
Otto
Westeros.
says in the second episode, like, you're already seen as weak to Aegon. Like, you not being seen as weak as now a ship that sailed. We need to now try and sully her. Because at the minute, public opinion, you've lost. You're not losing.
You've lost.
You've lost.
It's done.
So the best thing that we can do is try and make her seem worse.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's got that far that babe killer is being used as like a slur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's in the
working.
common vernacular now, isn't it?
Yeah. So all it takes for them to... There was hundreds, thousands dead from that.
Yeah. Anything. Any
Jesus
opportunity to not
Christ.
let 7 shades of shite out of each other.
Because my brain went...
Whoa.
They had that interaction. And then I thought the next flash was a while in the future.
No, there was no other families there. It was just them two trying to murder each other. They essentially cripple each other, like financially through war and lineage-wise. They almost like, I think they're still about, but like
Not much.
no, they're a shadow of the former house. They're like near enough wipe each other out to extinction. It's ridiculous.
Jesus
Over
Christ.
something that no one can remember. They just don't like each other and the neighbours.
Is it a case of right now, as the audience, we don't get to know what the reason
nobody
is?
knows.
It's
Nobody
not
knows.
even
It's not
documented.
not that I know of. If someone in the comments knows, please tell me, because I've always wondered this, but I can't find. I don't think I've ever actually Googled it, but in everything I've read, I don't think it ever, because both of them have different issues. So you don't know the truth. I couldn't tell you what the issues are now. There's that many of them, because it is literally sins beget sins. Like, they just hate each other, and they've both got relatively decent points depending on what stance you take.
Yeah, it's not like they're just insane.
No, neither of them are particularly evil.
They're
It's
regular families that just happen to have a grudge.
and armies.
Yeah.
Not a great mix.
Dark opening again.
Yeah, but that scene of family pulls all the way through the episode. Did you notice?
Yeah.
So like immediately, the Cargill twins, Eric and Eric.
that
married
was
together. I
devastating.
just love the fact that Rhaenyra is just like everyone else is going, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Otto's house. She's like, I don't care what Otto would have done.
Yeah.
Not Otto. That's what's right. Strictly speaking, one of them betrayed, the one that was with me, that I'm going to see as the better person, betrayed his oath.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall out with the other one. But keeping his oath, like, no,
Yeah.
that's mental. It's not happening.
Rhaenyra is she's an honourable person.
She's brilliant. I also loved Ren. Again, oh, she just smashes it every week. Every comment that she says is completely on point. She's so switched on. Like, she should have been queen because it was her or Viserys. Like, none of this shit would have happened if she was queen. She's mint. And she says, like, that assassination attempt was not Otto. I think she actually says, like, hotter heads have prevailed here
Yeah.
or something like that. Like, she's just got her finger on the pulse of everything in the political world of Westeros. I think she's great, and I also think the actress whose name I've forgotten is brilliant in the character. She's extremely knowledgeable and switched on, but she also understands the political position that she's in. She's never a smart ass. She's never condescending. I think she's just played to a T, to be honest. She's rapidly becoming, I know I joke on about Helena, but I think she pretty much is my favourite character, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
she's-
Marlies is one of my favourite dragons.
He's doing a great job of the logical aspect that Rhaenyra needs.
Yeah.
I like...
Too many people around are trying to go, just burn everything.
Yeah, there's too many people that want to fight, and it's the same on both sides. That's why it happened.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just... There's no winner in that situation. Both sides have dragons. It's like America and Russia going to nuclear
It
war.
just doesn't help it. There's no
There is
winner.
not a winner.
No winner.
And it takes a person like Rhaenys.
Compared to Kristen Cole in the next scene that couldn't get it any more different.
Yeah.
Walks into the council chamber, first ever session, plonks his ass down, and he's like, so we've got a plan. This is what we're doing. We're going to war. I mean, fair play. He owns the job, but he's like, we're going to war. I'm going to go here, you're going to go here, Vhagar's got to stay here, I'm doing this, you're doing this. And I just think, you're a very good warrior. Like, arguably, I think he's probably one-on-one, nobody in the world could defeat him. Don't forget, Aemond is fantastic. Aemond One Eye. He was trained by Criston Cole.
Have we seen Criston Cole have an actual scrap yet, though?
First episode of season 1, Daemon Targaryen gets absolutely embarrassed by him in the lists. He gets mullered. He's a bit prancer, whereas like you got to remember, Criston Cole comes from literally nothing. I think he was a blacksmith's son or a stable master's son. He was common born.
Yeah,
but literally rose through the ranks for being a mega warrior. Fantastic. I'll give him all the credit in the world for that. Does not make you a battle commander. Does not make you a master tactician. That's what he's acting as. I just think he's colossally overconfident. I thought the White Worm, Lady Mysaria, was brilliant in this again. And I think it's a really smart move for Rhaenyra to make her the Master of Whisperers.
Yeah, I mean...
I think she just knows. She's not even been on Dragons. She's not even been in King's Landing for ages. She still knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, she's a better Varys.
Yeah, but she's also a really good juxtaposition. But if anyone's, am I using that word correctly? I think I am. For Larys Clubfoot, Larys Strong.
Yeah.
Because he's really dark with it. She does the right thing. She could have left. She comes back when she sees the wrong... Hang on a minute, you've just walked me down here. Are you now walking up the beach with the Cargill assassination attempt?
All she does is pay attention. All she does is pay attention.
Yeah, but she's also got that knowledge of like the bastard kids of King Aegon in the fighting pits, which is awful scene we've not talked about since season 1. We need to do a full season 1 review. Be a long video, but be class. I thought she was great. Oh, do you know what I absolutely adored this episode? That POV on Caraxes back coming into Harrenhal in the rain.
That was a great scene. When he was flying down, I thought he was going to see in the Baratheons, but then I remembered, obviously, he said he's going into Harrenhal.
To be fair, I get what you mean, sort of visually.
Yeah, Stormlands.
yeah. I thought that was really, really good.
Seeing Harrenhal.
I love seeing it properly. Like,
what have we seen of it so far?
In Game of Thrones, you see like a couple of chambers, a courtyard, and it just looks like any other courtyard. You see the tickler who's putting the rats on people and trapping them in with a metal bucket and then heating up the bucket and all that torture. And that's where Arya Stark is the cup bearer for Tywin Lannister. And he basically says, like, look, I know you're not common born, but I'm not going to blow your cover because I think he likes her.
Yeah. So that's Harrenhal.
And then the Great Council of 101 AC. AC means after conquest. Like AD and BC in our time. That's in because like Daemon says, we can muster 40,000 swords, but this is the only place big enough to garrison them. Imagine the size of that castle. 40,000 people could fit in Harrenhal.
Why was it made? What's it for?
So, very quick history lesson. Harren the Black was, I think he called himself the king of the seas and shores, something pretentious like that. They all love a title, don't they? I mean, Daenerys had to write a paragraph when she was signing a check.
Yeah, I hated that towards the end.
Harren the Black, he was Ironborn and he like dominated the Riverlands. Horrible. Loads of slaves and loads of, vassals and all sorts of stuff. He built it purely as a vanity project. He wanted to build the biggest castle in the world. And the tale goes, and I don't think if you actually found out the exact day, but the tale goes on the day that he built, he placed the last stone, Balerion came in and blew it up.
No.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mate.
And he retreated inside with all of his sons, saying that no army can get over the walls. No, but you know what?
Dragon can.
Yeah, well, yeah, it can blow stuff up because the flames from a dragon in Westeros, they don't just set stuff on fire. They kind of have like, have you noticed?
They have impact.
They have like a percussion element to them, like a so they can blow all the roofs off stuff, but also in the really thick chambers, and these walls were like meters thick. Not only was it massive, so years to complete, loads of people died. That's why they say it's cursed, because of how many people died constructing it.
Right.
Basically, he turns into an oven, so he roasted inside his own kids.
Ooh.
They have a hall, the great hall that you see with the smashed out roof that Damon walks into, and where they have the Great Council. It's called the Hall of 100 Hearths. It's that big, and needs 100 fireplaces to keep it warm.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's too big. It's impossible to keep clean. It's impossible to maintain. It's impossible to garrison and fortify. You're just relying on its size, because you can't possibly have people. You'd need a standing army, one of the biggest standing armies in the world at all times inside, to garrison it 24/7. And it doesn't. It has a lot of land, but it wouldn't have all the land to feed all those people.
Yeah.
It's just mental. It's just a ridiculous end. But it's been built now, so they can use it.
It exists. So Damon flies his way to the, and works his way through the corridors with his sword out, rightfully so, because creepy.
Dark Sister.
And, well, it's just in complete disrepair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mess.
Until we get to that one room with a bloke and his 4 sons in there.
Yeah, because it's even that room will cost a fortune to heat. Because even though it doesn't look that big, the ceilings are that high. All the heat just gets trapped up there. Like, you can't stay warm in it.
So is he the warden of Harrenhal at the minute?
Yes, because technically the Lord Larys Clubfoot, as he's known, and that's what he says, the Clubfoot's no son of mine. He even says, doesn't he, do you not think that my nephew and his son die in a fire in such a damp place is ridiculous?
Yeah.
Now,
so is that his son? Is that his son, the Clubfoot guy?
No. So do you remember Lord Strong?
Yeah.
Who was the kids of their dad? And his dad, who was the hand of the king after Otto Hightower.
Yeah.
The little pudgy dude. The pudgy dude is now the old dude. It was the old dude's nephew. So he is the Clubfoot's great uncle.
Yeah.
He's just the most direct person that lives.
Yeah. Because he's killed people.
I think the dad was called Lionel Strong, or that might have been his brother. But the the son Strong, that was the Queen, was known as Breakbones. Physically strongest person in Westeros.
Dead hard.
Yeah, crazy. I'd love to have seen him fight Criston Cole. That's why they both kind of in the yard when they have that confrontation. They're both a bit like, not many people that. Probably the only person that Criston Cole would have ever backed down to was him, or at least paused about was him.
Had to think about it. So we get Daemon going into that hall where the family's having the food. The old guy pledges himself to Rhaenyra. Immediately, because I think he knows what the alternative is.
More Dragonfire.
Yeah,
basically.
And there is that lady with the dark hair, kind of wandering around being creepy.
Yeah, I did make a note of that, and I can't seem to find it. Yeah, I think that whole dream scene was more important than we may think, because it was the first mental chink in the armor of Daemon.
It was PTSD.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah. Even him in his I don't give a shit attitude can't deal with what has happened on his watch, what he's essentially done. He can't cope with that. No one can cope with that. He knows it's wrong.
Now, we've kind of collected, I don't think that's the scene after when he arrives at Harrenhal, but we've collected the group of
that little
together.
time together.
When she says, you will die here, at the end, he wakes up from the dream, drops his sword, is in front of one of the trees.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's him patching into the way, wouldn't it? You know.
Yeah, and she's just there behind him and says, "You will die here."
Yeah.
Is she someone like Melisandre? Someone who can make that kind of.
I was wondering whether she was Jenny of Oldstone.
Is she someone that can make that prediction with weight behind it, basically?
I think so. I think more to come with her.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just a really bizarre plot hole in it.
Well, yeah, either that or she has some resentment for the Targaryens and what they did for Harrenhal.
Yeah, maybe. It was hundreds of years ago, and but they still have. But then again, her uncle, dad, whatever, still made a dig about it, didn't he? So
Yeah.
Then we go back to the Red Keep. It was quite good to see Gawain Hightower, who is Alicent's brother, because he's kind of beefing her up again a little bit.
Yep.
She was a bit flimsy in a political position. She didn't have any backup. Dad was gone. Biggie. Gawain. I have an issue with the actor.
The actor?
Yes.
Okay.
I forget his name. He's fantastic at what he does, but he's fantastic at me finding him detestable.
Why?
I don't know. Everything he's in, he plays, and maybe he is this. I doubt it, but sorry to whatever your name is. You play a really good part. He always seems to play an insufferable, smarmy beep. I'll bleep myself there. And he's exactly, but that's perfect for Gawain Hightower. Like, he's always cast really, really well.
Yeah.
It was nice to finally see him.
Is he a typecast actor then?
I think so, a little bit, which is a shame. For any actor, it's a shame. We have just anything that I've ever seen him in. Do you know what I mean? That could be quite a limited amount of things in his repertoire.
I don't recognise him from anything.
No, I couldn't tell you what they are, but I know I've seen him in a lot, and I always sort of, oh, he's a smarmy.
We do.
Why I oughta.
We do get a nice awkward interaction with Kristen Cole and Alicent.
Oh, the favour thing.
Yeah.
Why have we got a booby hanky?
I said the exact same thing.
Are they all walking around with booby hankies?
Can I have your favour? Here's a boob sweat hanky.
Yeah, no. When I used to work in retail, someone would get money out of like somewhere in a bra.
Oh, I wouldn't touch it.
Don't do that, please.
Underwear, bras, socks, whatever. Don't know.
Well, no socks. I'm not just pointing this out about people that wear bras, but also socks. I want your sweaty foot juice on your change. Thank you.
If you're keeping 60 quid in your sock, there's something a bit wrong with you.
Get out.
Unless you're at a festival, that's a really handy trick.
I'm travelling abroad.
Tom's top tips.
Yeah, Tom's top tips. Somewhere. Yeah, especially if you're abroad as well. Stick 20 quid in your sock. Get a taxi from wherever you are.
Why does he make such a kind of point of doing that in a public place?
I don't know. I wrestled with that myself. Is it hide in plain sight? Is it a power play? Is it quite manipulative? Is it because she clearly did he enjoy making her feel uncomfortable? I don't know.
I think she's done with him. I think since
the weight of the blood and cheese.
Yeah, I think not only
because he should have been on guard, shouldn't he?
He should have been on guard, but she feels responsible for him not being on guard, and Sir Eric being sent because of Kristen Cole.
Fuming about that.
Yeah, she's upset.
She's not happy at all about that.
But it's just, I think she is starting to release herself from Kristen Cole.
He doesn't like that. We've seen it. He literally does exactly the same thing with Alicent as he did with Rhaenyra, but hates Rhaenyra because she says she wouldn't marry him. All this started with Kristen Cole because of that.
Yeah.
It's a joke. He's embarrassing.
He's a gaslighter, manipulator.
He's awful. He's a truly terrible person. One of the worst. Especially after he killed Beesbury by smashing his head into a marble. Sit down.
Just a very quick point. I really wanted to see Graham McTavish come back.
Yeah, me too. He's great, Graham McTavish.
He's a wonderful actor.
He's fantastic. And quite underrated Scottish actors, I think. The Hound's Scottish.
He is.
Here's a picture for your editing. He was also the mascot of the Scottish Oats.
Quaker Oats, yeah.
He was Quaker Oats is the guy in the hat. Specifically Scottish Oats. The guy in the kilt was
doing the hammer throw.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And famously, Yarp.
Yarp. Narp.
Narp.
Good. Here's one for you. I think, very quickly, Rhaenyra's council, super condescending, and if I do say so myself, like, I think a bit sexist. Yeah, like, we're going to tell you what to do because men. So what, you're a dragon rider, legitimate to the throne, and actually the only reasonable person apart from Rhaenys in the room, listen to us because we men, shut up.
They are.
I don't mind it. Sometimes I find it really frustrating in things when like stuff like that is shoehorned in, or like any kind of political messaging has to be done really, really carefully. And I think because otherwise it can be a little bit jarring. But I think for that time as well, that was done perfectly, because like the whole mansplaining thing. I'm sure it does happen, but with that time specifically, I can imagine it being a much bigger. I don't want to say bigger problem because it's a big problem now, but you know what I'm trying to say? Because they have what they call a pugilistic society. So it looks like primogeniture. So the male heirs always win purely on genetics.
Yeah, just because they win because they are males.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely mental. Look at this, exactly what's going on now. Rhaenyra is an infinitely better ruler than Aegon. Yeah. Rhaenys, an infinitely better ruler than Jacaerys. And that's just fact, because it's who they are as people, and these crusty old codgers in trying to tell her what to do, and it really irritated me, that scene. But that was the whole point, so I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that's the absolute point, and it's the absolute point of what Rhaenys is saying. It is the hot-headed idiots who want the war that shouldn't be listened to by
yes, absolutely
at all.
The only thing I didn't like that Rhaenyra did in this episode puts a lot of pressure on Baelor.
Looking after the younglings and the dragons and the clutch of eggs.
Which twins? They're not twins, but sisters. But because they grew up quite similar in age,
aren't
they? Basically, you've got, I think Baelor. Sorry, if I've got this right, Baelor is the rider of Moonrancer, which is the dragon you see later on, which I thought was stunning, with the almost tiger stripe pattern.
Oh, when I saw
that. Beautiful.
Do you know what they look like?
What?
One of my geckos.
I like that, though. They're taking depictions from real lizards.
It looks like not a leopard, a real reptile.
Yeah.
Crested geckos, for anyone interested.
Yeah, that was brilliant. But yeah, for the other one, daughter from the first marriage of Daemon to a stepdaughter, in effect. I thought it was a hell of a lot. So you go and looking after my heirs, two of my remaining kids.
Yep.
You're looking after 4 or 6 of the most valuable thing in the world. Like, nothing even compares to a dragon egg.
3 kids.
3 kids.
2 with Daemon, 1 with the strong. You got the youngest strong kid.
Yeah, the youngest strong kid as well.
And the 2.
3 kids.
Yep.
4 things that could buy you a kingdom each. Literally the 4 most valuable things on the planet.
The baby dragons.
The eggs.
Oh, the eggs.
Just the eggs. They are still the most valuable things in the world when people think that they've been petrified to stone.
Yep. That's
There's
why,
an egg in it. There's a dragon in it, potentially.
That's why Jorah's gift to Daenerys is such a big deal.
That's the...
not Jorah.
Thingy of Pentos.
The one who's harbouring them.
Yeah, the mention to Pentos. I need to brush up on Game of Thrones. I've lost it all. I'm all House of the Dragon at the moment.
Fine, that's where we're at.
And a baby dragon in the box, like crazy. But, fair enough. She's done what she needs to do. She's sending them to the Arryns, who is family to her because her mum, Emma, is Emma Arryn, who died in childbirth in the first episode of season 1. So it's not like
she died to her own dragon, didn't she? She didn't want to die in childbirth.
No.
She went outside.
Yeah. No, but Rhaenyra's family, Arryns.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Because I think she's talking about sending them to the Arryns, and then she says, well, we'll go to or send them to Pentos. Which is why her mum died to Vhagar outside. Yeah. So I couldn't quite get my head around where, but I did watch this on double speed to get all this written down before today, so I will rewatch it. Absolutely, I think Lord Varys is really terrifying, and now that he's got actual power as the Master of Whisperers, watch this space, he's going to become a living nightmare. You know what I loved? Another POV scene, the pub scene, when you see him walking through the streets. Hey, all right, Jim. You all right? You were shite in work today, son.
Yeah.
I thought it really,
you know what?
Made King's Landing feel like a living, breathing place.
It felt like there was actual people living there.
There's a thing, and it's a completely different IP. There's a thing about when they Harry Potter where they very much wanted Hogwarts to almost feel like a character in and itself. The actual castle had an atmosphere. It had a character. sometimes that is a little bit lost in Game of Thrones because there's so many sets, there's so many places that would be impossible. This is very much centered Dragonstone, which doesn't have as much development, and King's Landing. But King's Landing, like, it moves, it feels like you're not just seeing the Red Keep and then that one street to the Sept of Baelor. I think they fleshed it out really, really well.
Yeah, there's a population of, 1 million people, does Tyrion kind of offhandedly say?
Yeah, if not more. It's a really rough guess. But then that pub scene also leads on to the Dragon Seeds, which I'm going to say absolutely nothing more about.
Hang on, I didn't even hear you then. I'm trying to think of the pub scene. That guy who's claiming to be the uncle of the king, who is he? Is he actually someone important, or is he a lying drunkard?
He's not as important as he says he is, but he's not completely lying.
Okay.
That's the best I can tell you without destroying the Dragon Seeds, or I can just spoil it for you.
No, we're not spoiling it for me, we're spoiling it for people on the internet.
Well, yeah, this is it.
The Dragon Seeds.
The Dragon Seeds. And that's not me spoiling it, he refers to himself as a Dragon Seed in the show.
So he's someone's bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why he's got Valyrian hair. It's a bit shitty brown.
Onward.
So that was really good. And then Aegon comes in. Pint on the crown. All right, fair enough. Like, he's not a complete ass. You know what I mean? He's decent. But then he completely spoils it by going laughing at his brother in a whorehouse and like really embarrassing him and stuff. It's like, it was an awkward enough scene as it is. But I just thought the fact that he completely embarrassed him for no reason was just horrible. Just horrible. Because what it set up with that is that was his first, and also he goes back to her for comfort. Did they call it succor? Is that a term? They go back to her for succor. Not like sucking like in an inappropriate sense, like almost like emotional sustenance. Like he's not got a good relationship with his mum. He sees her as like a fool and a political ally or enemy. He goes to her for this kind of intimacy of whatever kind. We're not here to judge. But he goes over this intimacy and it's been completely destroyed. That's the one place where he's vulnerable. You watch him walking around wherever he is. He's got this swagger. I'm Aemond One Eye. I ride Vhagar. It's actually a lot of pressure for what is still quite a young man. And that's where he gets his R&R. And his brother laughed at him. And he thinks he's horrible.
That's the nail on the head. It's his vulnerable place.
Yeah.
With the relationship with his family and specifically his mother, he is like, it's a genuine thing, and it genuinely affects men more than any other demographic. Being starved ends up being a psychological condition.
I think it was done by Pablo. It's called the maternal deprivation theory, and it was really, really psychologically damaging. It's horrific.
Yeah. So he goes to that place just to be open. He tells her, we saw that in the last episode, he tells her the things that he won't tell anyone else.
Yeah, he does.
He didn't mean to kill Jace.
No, he didn't.
But that's the only person that he's told.
And now that's not a safe space for him anymore, and I worry what's that going to do for his emotional well-being moving forward.
Psychological well-being as well.
I think he's just going to like go off the deep end now.
What's it going to do for his already admittedly short fuse?
Very much so. So very quickly, last few points. Rhaenyra trying her best to stay measured when she tries to speak to Alicent. Like, I get it.
Well, that infiltration into King's
I really
Landing,
enjoyed that.
Great scene,
really well done, believable as well.
I like how it was the White Worm's suggestion.
Yeah,
it's her
first.
Oh,
there is one possibility. Like, she actually first says, do you want to kill her? Do you want to kidnap her? I just want to talk to her. Killing her would be easier.
It's her first tidbit of help to show that she's actually
have a job. Yeah, you really good at your job. I'll go show you immediately.
Yeah. I liked the infiltration. I liked the human aspect of Rhaenyra and Alicent's conversation, because she tried to get the knife out and cocked it up.
Yeah,
and she just goes, "I've begun badly." You know what I mean? Did you catch that when you were watching it?
I've begun badly.
It's something similar, you know what I mean? It's
Let me start again. Let's start over. Sorry, pause. Read
it's showing that she's panicked because she's had to infiltrate the place. She's panicked because of the things that she's got to say. She's panicked because of where she is and who she's talking to. She's not spoke to for ages, and all the things that have gone on in between.
And if anything goes wrong, deaf or dead. She's in a city full of people that think she's a child murderer and trying to usurp the throne. She's got to die. Yeah. In the worst way. If Aegon caught her, flared and awful.
All of the bad stuff. But that conversation is very important.
I really like the fact that it was did he use those exact words?
Yeah.
And when she explains the story, there's just a glimmer on Alicent's eye
of doubt.
Of shit, I got this wrong.
Yeah.
I know this is wrong now. But also, as soon as the acting was phenomenal, because as soon as you saw the look on her face of, oh no,
yeah,
what have I done? She is, as quickly as she went, oh, wide-eyed, she went, is what it is now. Snap back to reality. We're not going back. We can't do anything about it. There's no it's all out under the bridge. It's all right. Have your crown and that. It'd be cool. We'll all be mates.
There's
Manchester,
no point of return now. But there is a difference between there not being a point of return, a point of no return, and truth.
She knows the truth. She can't do anything about it. She's never going to tell anyone, but I just thought it was acted to a T.
Or at least having the doubt that she might be wrong.
And then I think it was different, but it was quite difficult for me to reconcile, but in a really good way within myself. I was wrestling with that scene quite a bit because fundamentally, you don't get this in the books. Alicent believed she was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And now she knows that she wasn't. And I think in that moment, she knew she got it wrong. And it was brilliant. I think it was a fantastic end to the episode.
I think saying it as she knows is wrong.
Okay.
I think saying it as she has the doubt.
That she never had before.
It's like the Inception theory.
Yeah.
Put in that little brainworm, it'll eat away at her.
Yeah.
She's not certain.
No,
she knows what she heard. She might still be going, well, she's lying.
But
she made up a story on the spot.
To make a pause and go, oh, hang on, maybe.
Yeah. It was the way that Rhaenyra was. He spoke to you of the Song of Ice and Fire. Immediately. It's not a thing that you can just lie on the spot like that.
No, that wasn't pre-prepared, was it?
No.
Really strong episode. Next week, I think it'll be great, and a really strong finish to episode 3.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comment below. Please subscribe, like, all that, as Tom calls it, YouTubey goodness.
YouTubey goodness. You know the drill. Thank you very much for watching.
Cheers, guys.